Yes, people, welcome to another edition of Agenda FC on Sarcasm City TV, hosted by myself, Flawless Mr. Take Note, and I'm joined by the King of Spin, the patroller of the AC Penitentiary, Chelsea's finest, my G, my Don, Carefree Lewis. So first and foremost, Lewis, how you doing? You good? What's going on?
We're all good. Semi-finals of the Champions League, first time since 2014. We are back in the big time. I can't wait for tonight as well because we get to find out who's going to take the L next, Liverpool or Real Madrid.
Okay, ooh, that's going to be interesting. We are going to talk about that definitely. Of course, we are going to talk about that. But yeah, Chelsea got through yesterday. Of course, my Don Poch, King Killian, they easily got through. You get me, knocking out the holders, Bayern Munich on their own patch. You know what I'm saying?
They lose or draw?
They lost 1-0.
Okay, cool.
They lost 1-0, so they went through on away goals, innit? But like I said,
God PSG were able to combat Spursy because Poch really tried.
Hey, that's not the way we are starting off Agenda FC, fam. We're not disrespecting my guy Don Poch. Mauricio masterclass.
I respect him, but he needs to win the Champions League first.
Yeah, and he will win it this season. He will, innit? This season he will. When he meets, I think I've genuinely said this. I think he meets your mob in the final, and he beats you. Look. I genuinely believe that. I've said that from when the quarterfinal was drew before the first leg results. I've said that for the longest. I think it's a PSG Chelsea final and PSG winning it. Like I said, man, hashtag Maurizio masterclass. I've been telling people about Don Poch with Killer Killian also. You know what I'm saying? Lewis is just not on board in that. Lewis is just not on board. He's not having in one ear and out of the other. But now I'm glad you're good. We will get to the comments, people, as well. And like I start every single show on Sarcasm City TV, love to everybody who is supporting. It's much appreciated, much appreciated. So whether you're a regular watcher who's in the comments or you're a regular watcher who doesn't comment but you just be tuned in, it's much appreciated. And we're less than 20 subscribers away now from 2,500. So it's rolled to 2,500 subs for Sarcasm City TV, and we're less than 20 away. So make sure you hit the notification bell and subscribe to the channel. Also, make sure you like the video. Equally as important, make sure you like this video as soon as you land and share it across all your socials. And as well, make sure you subscribe to Carefree Lewis G as well. His channel is in the title of the video. So literally, if you click it right now, Agenda FC will keep running, and you can go subscribe to his channel and hit the notification bell. Not only does he have plenty of great Chelsea content, also Shameless FC, which is one of the best shows on YouTube. And I'm not just saying that because I'm a part of it, but it is easily one of the best channels on YouTube. Enough shamelessness, rivalry. You got me who's the United fan, Lewis a Chelsea fan. You got Bob Slavs and Neil representing Arsenal, Spurs and Leicester. It's brilliant, trust me. It is brilliant. So make sure you subscribe to Carefree Lewis. We will get to the comments. Dupe says big up. Big up to Dupe. Man like MB says, hit the like button, share the video on our social media, and join the membership. The link for the membership is in the description below the video. Hurry up, don't want to miss out. Yes, all those things that MB said there. He's also a member as well, as he is a mod. And the link for the Sarcasm City TV membership is underneath the video. So there's plenty of great perks on there. Check them all out. Dupe says, everyone like the stream, smash it. Also, subscribe if you haven't. Support Sarcasm City. Big up the Sarcasm City army, innit? Big up to you lot, big up to Dupe, big up to NB. Marlon's already in the comments saying great joke. Conrad saying big up Flawless and Lewis. Big up to Conrad. Big up my guys Flawless and Lewis. Notorious
Effie. See you in the semis, hopefully.
Yeah, they ain't getting through. Why are you gassing them?
I want them to go through.
They ain't getting through. Like I said, I'm doing a watching on for that actually, so jump on it, feel free. And I'm doing Liverpool, Real Madrid. I'm doing Liverpool. Yeah, people, I am doing a Liverpool Real Madrid watching on tonight. JV should be on also. Done much past masterclass. I told you, Flawless. Facts. You know what I'm saying? And I told everybody about Don Poch. Remember to like and subscribe, people. That's a fact. Big up Ryan. See Ryan getting his flowers. So, people, if you haven't seen Agenda FC before, it's hosted by myself and Lewis. We're sometimes joined by a special guest. And what we do on this show is we either myself or Lewis or a special guest gives an opinion they feel strong about. So the reason why we call it Agenda FC is simply because as soon as you disagree with some people, it's never you have a disagreement in opinion. It's never that you have a different opinion from them or it's an agenda. You have an agenda. So that's why we called it Agenda FC. And there was no one better for me to get to co-host this than Carefree Lewis. And there's someone who's more shameless and can spin shit and talk more was than I do. It's without question Lewis, and he's the king of that shit.
It doesn't just stand for AC Hive, it stands for agenda as well.
Perfect guy in it. So as you can see from this title, people, the title of this video is Harry Kane goes missing against top opposition. And you would presume and think that from that title that would be Lewis. Nobody loves he loves bashing Spurs as much as I love bashing Arsenal. But no, it's not from me. It's not from Lewis either. So I'm going to welcome this special guest. If you're a Sarcasm City regular, you know her already. You know her already. The queen of Sarcasm City. She's smiling already. One of the most underrated YouTubers. You see her here, there, and everywhere, putting in hard work. Welcoming Yan City to the show. How you doing, Yan City? You good?
The right spot.
Yeah, there we go. Right spot. What's going on, Yan City? You good?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Don't blow us away with all that energy. I know you've been waiting for this. Because you've been talking the most about Harry Kane recently.
Yeah, it's just, I know that it's going to backfire in my face when he scores the winner in the League Cup final. I do know this, but it has to be said, isn't it? It's got to be said, you know, because people are asking me why I don't want him at Man City. Like, it's one of them, innit? Like, I'm not saying I wouldn't have him. I'd rather have no one, because obviously he is a quality player.
Okay.
And he would come in and he would score a lot of goals for Man City and we would win the league. You know, that sort of thing would happen. No one is denying that. My thing is that I honestly believe he will cost the same amount of money as an Mbappe or as a Haaland. And that, for me, I wouldn't take him over them two players. That's just my personal opinion. But yeah, he would come in. He's a quality player. This is not discrediting him as a player, because his records speak for themselves. They do speak for themselves. Where I think I get offended is when people try and say, oh, he's better than Aguero, because I haven't seen him do anything that makes me believe that he's better than Aguero. And this is why it's sort of coming across as an agenda now, because I said
Yancy came shooting from the gate. You know, we didn't even get to that. We didn't even get to the whole Aguero thing. She came in shooting from the gate.
Because I know people will see it as, how can you say that? You know, he'd be great at Man City, blah, blah, blah. You know, I just don't know whether he would do anything that this current squad haven't done. That's my personal.
Yeah, we're going to get to all that. Don't worry. So, obviously, with Agenda FC, we get a second opinion from the guest also. But Yan City jumped the gun already. She's ready to fire at Harry Kane again. But I understand where you're coming from. I know Lewis is he's waiting for this. Like I said, he loves Spurs slander as much as I love Arsenal slander. Big up NB in the comments. He says, big up the workaholic flawless, big up the king of spin and the Don Lewis. Oh, by the way, big up the Don Christiansen who plays for Fulham. That other wallet you talk about doesn't exist. Yeah, facts, man. Joachim Anderson and that. You know what I'm saying? Out here.
He couldn't even say his name correctly, man. Come on, NB.
Joachim Anderson is his name. Right, and saying we're less than 10 subscribers away because it's on 2.49k subscribers. Yes, please get us to 2.5k subscribers whilst we're on the stream. Marlon saying big up everyone. There we go. Akin saying big up the panel also. Big up you lot. Let's get the likes up. Big up Ugly Gram in the comments. Big up JB. Big up Tildo Cole. Sorry, yeah, Tildy Cole. My God, my bad. I just butchered your name. My bad, G. But yeah, let's get into this. Man did a full-on Paul Merson with his name. Yeah, subscribe, guys. Yeah, man, subscribe. We'll do a mini 2.5k party. But like I said, Agenda FC, this is Yan City stating why Harry Kane goes missing against top opposition. Yan City, take it away. Explain your reasons why.
Nah, I was just saying, because like,
it's gonna be good.
For me, the difference between a player, because if we're being honest, the only thing Man City haven't won is the Champions League, right? And what happens in Champions League games is we often, them games that it can go either way, we don't come out on top. Do you know what I mean? With this game where we go in and we win quite easily, and then there's other games that are on tight margins, and we go out. You know, and there's players in our squad like De Bruyne that, you know, he's exceptional in most of these big games. You know, there's other players like Aguero in the past who have been things like that, right? But then you get things like last season where Raheem Sterling missed an open net, right? So for me, I'm not saying that, you know, he is one of our better Champions League players. He actually is. That's a fact. That's not an opinion. He actually is one of our better players. However, when the pressure's on, I don't know if that's my mic, but
that was me though.
Okay, yeah. So under pressure and stuff like that, like Man City are gonna look to bring someone in who is like an Aguero that can do it.
The reason why I'm laughing at this because shout out my Don Connor G, he's the guy who does the thumbnails for me, so he created the whole templates of the thumbnails, and he's a Spurs fan as well in it, so he's not having it. But I'm gonna let her land in it.
I get it from. This is why it's seen as an agenda, because he is an exceptional player. Nobody is denying that. My thing is, right, Spurs are not the best team. I get that. Spurs don't have the best team, blah, blah, blah. They did finish third in a 2-horse race, which is madness. But yeah, it's one of them things. Like, for me, I just see it as, you have Jamie Vardy, right? Jamie Vardy was bought for £1 million. It wasn't him. Kante was a big part. Mahrez was a big part. But he led Leicester to a Premier League title, right? Are you trying to tell me that the players around Vardy were worse than the players that Harry Kane has had when he was in that title race? I'm not so sure, because at the start of that season, you would never have put Leicester above Spurs. But one of them led their team to a title and the other one didn't. I've seen Aguero come in his first season. I know Man City is a better squad. I get that. But he came in and won us the league in his first season at 22 years old. I've seen that happen. So my thing is not that Harry Kane's not a good striker, not that he doesn't score goals, because he does. Every season, consistently, he scores a hell of a lot of goals. But in situations where he could, I don't know, like, it's kind of like Mbappe right now. Like, everyone's talking about Mbappe, and if he can put his name amongst other players that are
give him the respect. King Killian, by the way, or Killer Killian 1 and 2. Let me just get to the super chat before you continue. Big up Shane Collins on the super chat, much appreciated. He says, if Poch wins the Champions League, Spurs fans will take it as a trophy, small club mentality. You know what I love about the super chat? Yeah, that he spent money to slander Spurs. I respect that so much. I really, the petty side of me respects that so much, because he's not even asked the question. It really is.
Let's go, my guy.
I can't lie, I love that, because he could have easily just dropped that as a comment. He's like, no, I'm going to spend money to make sure they take time out to get to my comment. But big up Shane for the super chat, much appreciated. But yeah, love for that. But come on, let's see, carry on. Keep staying.
I was just saying, like, I can't, like, Mbappe, right? Everyone's talking about him. Like, he put PSG through, if we're being honest, because he was the reason why they won that first leg 3-2, sorry, and then that away goal sent them through. So it's one of them things. Like, Harry Kane has had opportunities. He has. He's been in a Champions League final. Like, if Man City are in that Champions League final, I know he was injured, whatever, but he still played, right? I know that if Man City get into that final and they don't win, and our top striker plays, so Aguero plays, people are discrediting Aguero and saying, what did he do in that Champions League final? That's what people are saying. Do you know what I mean? Like, people already talk about, has he done it in the Champions League? Harry Kane had the perfect opportunity. Aguero's never had that opportunity. Aguero's never actually been in a Champions League final to kind of do what he did, you know, against QPR, or what he's done in finals of other cups. Do you know what I mean? He's not had that opportunity. Harry Kane has. And he got a 4 rating, which was the worst in the Spurs squad. And I know he was slightly injured and whatever, but it's one of them things. That was his opportunity to put his name, like, even Origi, who is not better than him, in the game against Barcelona, put his name into that. So when they won the Champions League, he's remembered as one of the reasons why. So I don't know. For me, I think he could end his career completely trophyless, having scored a hell of a lot of goals. And it's just, for me, he now wants to leave because he's realised that if he ends trophyless, he won't be up there with the best. And I think he's realised that, and that's why he now wants to leave. So I don't know. For me, it's one of them things. I think he's a very, very, very good player. I am not denying that. He is Spurs' best player. But, you know, there's been games even this season against Zagreb. He was fully fit. He played both legs. He had, 90 minutes to basically keep it 0-0. They lost 3-0. He had opportunities to score. He didn't score. Games like that, if that is Aguero, they're saying, why did Aguero not score in that game? Yeah, I mean, that's all I'm saying. I just want him held to the same standards as everyone else. But because he plays for Spurs, everyone says, oh, he's doing really well. But it's like there's other players who are not as talented as Kane who have a Premier League title that they played a big part in. That's all I'm saying. So that's my agenda. You know, it's not going to hold up too much against people that are going to say, you know, he's one of the best in the league. Of course he is. But, you know, Jamie Vardy is also one of the best in the league. So, is what it is.
Your thoughts, because Jan City said a lot there, and we will get to the comments for people who either agree or want to rebuttal what she said. But we'll get to you, Lewis. What's Jan City's thoughts? So she's mentioned him in top games, so not so much against top opposition, but she's gone more Champions League final, the fact that Vardy led at worst Leicester side to a league title, and things of that nature. What are your thoughts?
I kind of get, like, big games in terms of opposition. Like, he scored 4 goals against us. He scores against Arsenal, so he has the derbies on lock at the very least. So, us to an extent. He scores way more against Arsenal, but the point still stands. Big games, though, finals, we haven't really seen a lot of goals from him, or any in general. We need to see Spurs in finals, to be honest, so that's probably half the reason why, too. There's the Ajax both games where we don't really remember anything from him. Don't really remember much from him in the Man City games. Champions League final, he was forced in injured. He shouldn't have been playing in the first place. 2015 Cup final, didn't do anything against us. 2-2 at the Bridge, he scored, I guess, but he lost his head just like everybody else did. Hasn't only had 1 goal against us since. I think, yeah, there's not a lot of big moments from him, but there's also not a lot of big moments from Tottenham. It is a bit of Spursy in it as well, we have to be honest about it. He hasn't got a lot of moments to even show up in because they ain't never in the position for it.
No, I hear that to an extent. And when you look at his record against the Big Six, isn't the best, if I remember correctly. Yes, Arsenal, all right. There, he does well in the North London derby. Chelsea, you saying he does all right. I don't remember too many times against Manchester United where he's played well. Manchester City, the same. They never beat Liverpool. It's rare that they beat Liverpool. So it's like, where have you been? What's his? Jan City, do you ever remember him turning up against you lot in just a league game where you're like,
you know what? He's
played
well
well
and had some decent performances, but he hasn't scored against us in 6 years. So if you said to me, one of them players needs to be out, Harry Kane or Son, I'm taking Son out every day because Son actually has scored against City a lot. He's the reason why we went out the Champions League to Tottenham. You know, there was in that game, right? We lost, what was it? 6-6 on aggregate, right? We went out on aggregate 6-6, right? He didn't score any of them 6 goals. So, and you know, I don't know. Like, I'm not here to kind of slander him as a player because his records do speak for themselves. But I'm just saying, if that's another player, that conversation is being had, you know? So, I don't know. If like, my biggest thing about it is like, I'm not Harry Kane's biggest fan, if you can probably tell. That being said, it's only when people have started disrespecting Aguero in relation to him that I've kind of said, right, okay, I'm not having this. And also when he's been linked with Man City, and you know, he has 3 years left on his contract. We bought we bought Kyle Walker for 50 million from Spurs quite a few years ago. So if you really think that they are selling Harry Kane for any less than 150 million, then you're sadly mistaken. And the other options that are available is Mbappe, who is out of contract in a year's time, and Haaland, who is out of contract in a year's time. And I really don't think there's going to be that much of a price difference between Harry Kane, Haaland, and Mbappe. So if I had to choose, I would get Mbappe first choice, to be honest, because he.
Of course you would.
Well,
of course you would.
I would get Haaland because I like the fact that Haaland's dad played for City. I like the fact that he's a bit of a City fan. I like that. So that element, I do like Haaland. So Haaland is a very, very close second. Probably more close than it would be if I supported a different team. And then you've got Kane in third. And to be honest, if Kane was available for 50, 60 mil, I would be like, yeah, take it. Because he is what we need. He's a clinical finisher. He is what we need, and he would fit in at Man City perfectly. He would. But for me, I wouldn't get him based on how much he's going to cost. The fact that he is injury prone, with Aguero is injury prone. That's the problem with Aguero. If not, Aguero is fit every season. He ends his career at Man City. The only reason why he's gone is because the injury got worse and worse and worse, and now he doesn't even have to play to be unfit at the moment. Like, he's injured now. He's not even playing. So it's one of them things. I don't know. I think there's better options than him. And, you know, I don't want to get another player who's going to come in and they're perfectly fine in the league. They can score loads of goals in the league, and then it gets to a Champions League quarterfinal and they can't find the net. I don't see the point, you know? So you
always got smoke for him. That's why we had to bring the show, because you're constantly bringing smoke for him. So I'm like, all right, let's bring you on Agenda FC and let you get this whole thing off of your chest. You're making valid points, though. Like, when you look at what Vardy did for the Leicester side, if Kane's playing for that Leicester side, do Leicester win the league that year? It's debatable. If you look at Vardy's record against the top six, it's miles better than Kane. I'm not saying Kane's not a quality player, but I understand your point. Yeah. I get your point fully. Do City win the league if Kane goes there, and does he score a whole load of goals? 100% he does, but City will win the league without him. Does he take him over the edge in the Champions League? I don't think so. I'm in agree. As much as I want to disagree with you, and I really do want to disagree with you, you pretty much spot on, to be honest. I've said this about Kane.
And the thing is as well, like, it's not like he's Haaland's age. Like, if Haaland goes missing tonight, right, and you don't see him, even though I think in the first leg he was really good and he did create their goal.
He was all right.
He was good. He was there.
Like, he was decent.
Even if he didn't turn up tonight, he's 20 years old. He still has time on his side. Harry Kane is going to be 28 by the time he leaves Spurs. So it's one of them things. I don't know. Maybe he comes to Man City and maybe win the Champions League and maybe he scores the winning goal. I've already pretty much said that I expect him to score the winner in this Carabao Cup final now, because I've jinxed Man City. But it's one of them things. Even if he does that, like, I don't know. There's been finals where, you know, Raheem Sterling scored the winner already, and he gets slated for, you know, not doing that. So I don't know.
I hear that. So Omid here says Harry Kane would perform in the City team. There's a difference playing with Højbjerg than De Bruyne. Your response to that? I don't know why you compared De Bruyne and Højbjerg, because they're different. But
because Højbjerg's a false Danish wall.
The thing is, nobody has said that he wouldn't perform in this Man City team. He would perform in this Man City team. He would come in at Man City and he would win trophies like every other player that comes into Man City. He would do that, and he would be more clinical than our strikers. That is guaranteed. I know that. What I was saying is, based on the options available to us, would I take Harry Kane over Mbappe? Would I take Harry Kane over Haaland? No, I wouldn't. That's the thing. Would I take him at Man City? Why not? He's a clinical striker. That's what we need, you know. But I just don't want to end up in another situation where we buy a player and then we go out the Champions League and everyone's going, oh, you went out the Champions League with this team and Harry Kane. You know, it's just, I don't know.
Hey, you lot get the likes up as well, because there's over 50 of you lot watching across all platforms in it. So get the likes up on the video, get us to 40 likes. Please. Connor here is Connor G saying, Aguero scored 19 more goals in 33 more games in the Prem versus Kane. How are City fans even slandering him? Your response
I'm not slandering him. I've already said that he's a good player. I'm just saying, big games, like Aguero, one of the reasons why Aguero is so loved by City fans is he always did it on a Manchester derby day. You know, they were the games that he turns up for. Cup final, he's
loved
there.
The goal against us.
Yeah,
I hated the guy with a burning passion. Fully hated Aguero because all he did was kick Louise and score against us. Literally.
But all of the big games, he's always there. Like Liverpool, you know, Man United. He never scored at Anfield. That's the criticism of him, that he never scored at Anfield.
Yeah, that's the one black mark on him in the Premier League.
against Liverpool. It's just he scores in the home fixture.
Yeah,
I hear that. It's just one of them, innit? Like, I don't think Kane is the best available option. That's all I'm saying. You know, people can come and say all they want about he's one of the best strikers in the league. I am not denying that. That's the thing. I'm not sat here saying he's shit. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying he's not good enough for City. I'm just saying, are we upgrading from Aguero if we buy Kane? Because I don't know.
Is he our captain?
Yeah, I think so. Is he England captain? That's what Ryan's saying.
Yeah.
How our captain not won anything? They're talking about the Euros, bruv. This is the guy they're looking up to.
He's like a
If
wild.
we win the Champions League or the FA Cup, give it to Mason Mount. 2 years of Premier League football, and he's already experienced more trophies than Kane has. He can't be looking after him for the armband. Bun that.
It's a buzzer. Got to say, I can't wait to see Jan screaming Kane's name at the Euros like he's God's gift to football.
I'm not a big England fan like that. Like, the only reason why I like England winning is because it's fun for the country and everyone's happy. The country's better. If I was outside of England, I wouldn't care for England, if I'm being honest. Like, I actually wouldn't. When I was growing up, it was 50% Liverpool, 50% Man United. I hated Liverpool. I hated Man United. That's just the way England was when I was a kid. Like, now it's a little bit more City, you know, than it was. But even then, it's I don't know. I'd be happy for Sterling and Stones if they won something. But
man, like MB saying, Son was the guy in that game against City. Not gonna lie.
Always Son, man. Always.
Yeah, saying the only team dumb enough to buy Kane is United. I don't even think we'll buy him, to be honest. Jan, who are you taking out of Kane and the Egyptian Lukaku? Who's this guy? This guy, that's bare disrespectful. Salah, bare disrespectful. I had to take him in as well.
You know what? I would probably take Salah, if I'm being honest. But you know what it is? In our squad, Kane would probably be better for City than Salah, if we're being honest. In our squad, the way we play. But, you know, Salah is a big game player as well, you know?
Has to be fair.
So it's one of them, and it depends what you want. If you want just goals through the season, like Man City have never really struggled with scoring goals. Like, we don't have Harry Kane in our team that consistently gets the golden boot every season, even though Aguero technically would have been that player without injuries. But we haven't had that. But we don't need that. We've won the league without a striker. If we win the league this season, we've won it without a striker most of these games. So it's one of them things, isn't it? Like, it's not. For me, I'm not seeing it as I wouldn't take Harry Kane. If you said to me, Harry Kane's available for 60 mil, would you take him? Yeah, I would. But if he's available for 150, and so is Mbappe and so is Haaland, then no, I wouldn't pick Harry Kane.
Yeah.
That's just the reality of it.
Andrew here saying, I'd take Kane at Chelsea. Lewis, we'll come over to you with this. Similarly, this is Agenda FT on Sarcasm City TV. Would you take, all banter aside, because I know how much it would piss, you get me, Spurs fans off, if Harry Kane was to sign to Chelsea and win something, would you take him? I know you've already got your photoshops ready of Kane holding the Premier League. Right?
Depends on the price tag, because this guy's ankles ain't saying much either. But yeah, I wouldn't turn my nose up at Harry Kane. Still one of the best strikers in the league, and we're begging for clinical strikers that are Premier League proven. Harry Kane's literally there. He just needs the trophies to back up. And also, like he said, Spurs fans would hate it. All these years of Harry Kane balling out with nothing to show for it, he comes to Chelsea and stat pads a few titles, literally just off being the centerpiece of a brilliant Chelsea side, which is so young and so quickly developing at the rate that it's doing already. Bro, like, it would be the perfect storm. The memes would be ridiculous. And you know what the worst part is? The memes would be factual as well. We took Harry Kane. He started off as an Arsenal fan, got developed at Spurs, and became successful at Chelsea. The memes just write itself. Yes, I would take Harry Kane in a heartbeat.
Look how we
we'll get rid of this bottle job mentality from him within a year. It'll be done.
Look how he spun that perfectly in that. You know what I'm saying? Spun that perfectly.
True, Harry Kane at Spurs, there's question marks. Take him to a club that knows how to win things. Then you will see a real Harry Kane. And Harry Kane looks dirty enough as it is. If you put him around a solid squad, bro, I'm only imagining it. I don't even know if words can describe it. Because we all know Harry Kane is a baller. We can all admit it on that. It's just
definitely.
the same problem Mourinho has. He's being held back by the Tottenham. Simple as. It's Spursy, man. We call it all the time and we laugh about it, but it's factual.
Yeah,
Mourinho's getting ruined by Tottenham. Kane's not being ruined by Tottenham, but his trophy haul's definitely been ruined. Even if he wins a few trophies now, there'll be a question of, imagine what you could have won the last 8 years. Sure. You just left. Why did you say a Tottenham?
Do you know what my issue with him is though? He had an opportunity to say a while ago that he wanted to leave Spurs. He actually signed an extension. So he's put himself in the situation that he's in, where he's got 3 years left on his contract, going into his 28th year. So, do you know what I mean? It's one of the, he's put himself in a situation where if he wants to leave now, he's going to cost an arm and a leg. So it's harder for him to move. He would have been better off doing what Leroy Sané did. I don't want to stay. Let me just, not sign the contract and then hope that someone would have bought him. Man City would have bought him. Man City were interested in Kane a few years back. You know what I mean? Chelsea would have bought him back then, Man United would have bought him. There's quite a lot of teams that would have had him at that point, and he's the one that's come out and put himself in that situation. And then when people like me are now saying they don't want to spend over 150 mil on Kane, it's like, what are you talking about? When I think if he really wanted to leave, he should have not put himself in a situation where he's going to cost that, because it's going to be harder, like I say, when there's other options available who are much younger, who might even be, a similar price or not much more. Do you know what I mean? I just think it's... Because if you think about it, if you buy Harry Kane on a 5-year contract, he's retiring at your club.
Yes.
If you buy Haaland, you can sell Haaland in 5 years' time as a 25-year-old. You can sell Haaland in 6 years' time as a 26-year-old. And you probably make a profit if he heads in the direction that we're expecting him to head in. Same with Mbappe. So you've got to think of it from a football. Yes, it's a sport and we love it as a sport, but it is also a business. So if you think of it like that, Man City already don't make a lot of money from selling players, because we tend to keep our players in their prime years and then they move on either after the prime or they not retire at Man City, but they spend, most of their playing years at Man City and then they move on, like David Silva. So apart from Leroy Sané, he's probably one of the only players that we've sold in their sort of prime years, you could say, So it's one of them things. I just think if you're a football club, I wouldn't buy Harry Kane over Haaland or Mbappe. The only thing that I would say is he's prem proven, and that's one good thing. But yeah, I don't think Man City really needs someone to come and win us the Premier League title.
I think it's the price tag thing. Like I said, no rival fan. I've said this about Harry Kane, doubts his ability. His goal scoring record speaks for itself. So he passes the stat test. When you watch him, he passes the eye test.
Yeah.
The issue is his age, number one. Number two, the amount of money that Spurs would want for him. And number three, his injury record. Are you really going to go and spend that on a 28-year-old? Say, for instance, let's just say hypothetically, it's 130 million. Are you going to spend 130 million when you can push that 130 million to a Haaland or an Mbappe? Or even if it's not one of those two, just a younger player who you're more likely to get more out of, you could get more years out of, and you can sell him on. Like, you are really rolling the dice with Kane. Like, if you're looking at Manchester City, say they need a striker, to me, you might think different.
Yeah.
I agree with you. I'm not looking at Kane. I'm looking at either a Mbappe or a Haaland or somebody else who's younger, who you know is going to stay fit. Now, if Kane was right, Lewis touched on it. If Kane was the right price, I think everyone's taking him for 50 mil at their club.
Yeah.
If he's 50 million, anybody in the Premier League, I think anybody in Europe, PSG, Barcelona, Real Madrid, PSG, Real Madrid, Barcelona, Juventus, any top team in Europe, including England, is taking him for 50 mil. I think United would have him. I'd be happy with him. You would be, as with Lewis. But when you start talking all 150 million for a 28-year-old who you know is going to get injured, has he played a full season fit in the past 5 years? I don't think he has. He always seems to get injured a lot. So maybe a Spurs fan can tell us.
Yes, but I also feel like injuries happen. It's only because Spurs rely on him so much that we notice the injuries so much. Yeah. Okay. Because they completely drop off whenever Kane ain't out of the side. Well, I'll be real. There was a period under Pochettino where they lost Spurs and actually got better. But that was when Spurs were rising. But typical Spursy fashion, isn't it?
And I think as well, You're
Literally.
joking, you know. And I think as well with him signing a new deal, the reason why I think he signed a deal is because Poch was there and that's his guy. So he can see he can build on something. If you're smart, do you maybe insert a minimum fee release clause in there? Do you put a release clause in there of some sort, like, all right, 130 million or something like that? So there's no bargaining. If he had a release clause of 130 million, more likely a team is to go in for him at earlier stage. I've said this, but it depends on what you want. But this is Mourinho tax, because Kane's been happy at Spurs the whole time he's been there. Mourinho's been in, one season, and all of a sudden, there's talk of him wanting to leave. There's a reason for that.
You know what? I think he's happy, but I just think he's probably realizing now that he could retire with no trophy. I think that's what he's scared of. And even if they win the League Cup this season, is the League Cup really, like, you know, I was tweeting before about people going on about Alex Scott, you know, because just ridiculous. That's another show.
What's this, what Alex Scott you got? What Alex Scott agenda you got? What you got against Alex Scott?
I've not got an agenda. I'm saying that people are saying that she's not qualified for the job that she's got when she's way more qualified than anyone else. And she's better than all of them. But you've got Jermaine Ginas, who's got one League Cup to his name that they think is more qualified than her for some unknown reason. And it's one of them things. It's like, will he be happy with one League Cup to his name? Like, I'm not so sure, you know. For what he's done in England, he actually deserves more than that. You know, he does. So it's one of them things. Is he going to be happy with that? I'm not so sure. I think there's been worse players that have a much better trophy record than Harry Kane, you know. So I don't know. I think for his sake, he's probably got to the, because I think that contract that he signed tells me that he was ready to retire at Spurs, because he's got 3 years left and he's 28. So that's kind of like, you would expect maybe a 1 year extension year on year after that. I think he was planning to retire there, but I think
Yancy, tap your mic as well. Make sure you just sound hella loud. All right, cool. You are. Go on, carry on. I was just making sure. You're just hella loud, innit? That's all. That's all it is, innit? It's just bare loud.
Do you know what? It's because I'm not used to having a mic, so I normally talk loud, innit? But yeah,
cool. You're loud anyway. I don't know why you're blaming the mic, but carry on. You bare loud in that. Go on. All right, okay, sure.
I think it's one of them things. I think he's got to the end of his career and he's thought, I could actually end up with a League Cup or trophy list. And I think it's hitting him. I think maybe under Poch, he believed that they could do it.
Man, like Don Poch, that's why, man.
Yeah.
Don Poch. But then Poch dipped and went PSG in it. Said, fuck this, I'm off to win the Champions League.
Like João Felix. Like, João Felix is, you know, seen as one of the next best things, which I believe, you know, he could be. But then he signed a contract at Atletico Madrid, which is like a 7-year, some daft contract. Like, he can't get out of it. So now he's playing in that team. So if Atletico Madrid win nothing, he will win nothing, you know, whereas I feel like them sort of contracts sometimes, like, yes, you might be happy at a club right now, but you just don't know what's going to happen. Like,
7 years is too long to tie yourself down.
Like, when Aguero came to Man City, it went well for him, but it could have gone the opposite way. We could have bottled that game against QPR. We could have won nothing, you know, and then he might have wanted out after 4 years, thinking, actually, this is not what I wanted. I'm going to move to, I don't know, a Man United or a Chelsea or whoever was winning at the time. You don't know. So I think them sort of contracts at that age, it's risky anyway. And this is why I don't really feel too sorry for him. And that's why, you know, I've got this agenda, because I'm thinking he should have been thinking this is not new to Spurs.
When did he sign that contract?
Someone in the comments, let us know when he signed the contract. Let us know when he signed the contract. Just want to get to this from Indiana. Big up Indiana. Make sure you subscribe to First XI. You can catch Yan City on there on Thursdays as well. Go on, Lewis.
If it was any time before the Champions League final, I understand. Yeah. Anytime after the Champions League final, that's on you. That's
so when was the Champions League final? Was 2019. 2019.
Anytime before then, I understand.
I'm guessing it was probably before then, because he's not signed it recently. Yancey is going to check. Well, before we get to that, Indiana says, I would be more worried about Chelsea with Kane than I would with a Haaland. Perfect fit for them. What's your thoughts on that? If you had the choice between the two of them, who would you take and why?
I would take Kane over Haaland. I don't feel like Haaland would fit us as well as people make it out to be. Everyone just think Haaland's equals goal machine, but bro, this guy needs to adapt to the Premier League first of all. He struggled against low blocks. Like, we've already had a bunch of players come in and struggle with the adaptation from the Bundesliga to the Premier League. For 153 million, if we're getting Erling Haaland, we have to take the Premier League title the next season. No questions asked. We've already spent 230 million. We spend another 153 million on a solitary player when we need to go for other areas of the pitch as well. We don't even necessarily need to look for a striker first off. I'd rather we get a DM first.
You reckon you need a DM?
First of all. I mean, we have Kai Havertz playing up front, and he's been doing excellently. Yeah, he needs to have a bit more of power behind his finish sometimes, but other than that, like, he's been excellent up front. Like, if we go with him for next season, I'm not going to have any complaints personally. If we go for Romelu Lukaku, who is Premier League proven and has shown he can deal with low blocks, that would be an excellent option for me too, and he'd be cheaper. 153 million. If Haaland doesn't ball out immediately, and I don't think he would ball out immediately at Chelsea, we're going to get mocked differently compared to anything before. 153 million and we don't win the league again. We're taking the piss. I couldn't take Haaland right now.
Okay,
not right now.
Interesting.
I'd rather we go for a creative winger first.
Mad. Yeah, Yancy's not having that because she on the Haaland.
No. It's not that, because a lot of people,
Haaland.
A lot of people have actually said that with Chelsea, like Kane.
He fits City excellently.
Yeah.
He just
I think we're just looking for that one person that can just put these chances that De Bruyne is putting on a bloody plate in the back of the net. So Haaland works for Man City because that's what we need. Essentially, just someone that, you know, can take chances. Because how many chances do Man City get in a game and how many do we put away? Seen it against Leeds. That is the most clear. Like I said after the game, if anyone thinks we don't need Haaland now, like that game will tell you, like 29 shots, 1 goal. Like,
yeah, you definitely need a striker. I've said this.
Haaland doesn't need 29 shots to score 1 goal. So
yeah,
it's just one of those things. Like Man City, obviously, we are going to have. So I think someone mentioned it. Yeah, Liam Delap is going to come in, but I just think it's a little bit unfair to put all the pressure on a kid's shoulders. Like, he would be expected to score. Like, we've already seen people like Sterling getting slated, you know, when he misses a sitter in a game. Like, I don't want Liam Delap to come in and have all of the pressure of carrying Man City to 4 titles at that age. It's not fair. Like, I expect him to come in and play alongside someone, but I wouldn't expect him to be the main man. So that for me is just, it's putting a lot of pressure on him. And yeah, I think it's unnecessary. But Harry Kane signed a 6-year contract in 18-19, so it was before. So that's fair enough, I suppose.
Yeah, it makes sense because Poch is his guy at the end of the day, and the team was good at that time. It looks like they're going somewhere.
Yeah.
It is. Raphael G here saying Kane ain't a player that relies on pace, so him being 28 ain't that deep. He can play for another 5-6 years at the top level. Here's the thing though. So you're signing him as a 9 and he doesn't rely on pace. But then why not just go and get an actual number 10 then? Just go get a quality number 10 rather than get a 9 reverted to 10. I'm a fan of Kane, but the price tag is the stumbling block. For the right price, I think, like I said, anybody for 50 to 60 million, anybody is taking Harry Kane. For 150 million, at the things that Manchester United need, the fact that we need a right winger, a DM, a centre back, I don't want us to spend 150 million on Harry Kane. The right price, yeah, definitely. Yeah, go on, Jancy.
That's my thing, because people always take it out of context. Like I'm saying, I would not have Harry Kane at Man City. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying for what he is going to cost. And the fact that, you know what Spurs are like? Spurs don't work well with Man City as it is. Like, we had to fight to get Kyle Walker. You know what I mean? So they're not going to let their best player, because Kyle Walker wasn't their best player. They're not going to let him go. We tried to get Danny Rose, I think, a while back. They wouldn't let us. Yeah. Wait,
I didn't know that.
I think even before Kyle, to be honest, they wouldn't let him go, and look at him now. So it's one of them things. They're not going to give Man City Harry Kane. It's going to be a ridiculous amount of money, and that's what I think. Like, someone in the comments has mentioned Andre Silva. That is a player that I could see Man City going and getting. That being said, they have said they don't want anyone over 24, and he's 25. So I'm not too sure. That being said,
a 1 year thing. Like, I feel like you could allow that.
I think Andre Silva, to me, if I had to put money on who City were going to buy, I think someone like that, because I don't think, as much as I'd love to see it, I don't think Man City go and buy Haaland, Mbappe, or Kane, to be honest, for that price. But yeah, it's one of the. I think with Mbappe, if a player like that comes along, you have to go in for him. Whether you get him or not doesn't really matter. You have to go in for him. You have to.
Oh, Mbappe definitely.
Yeah,
And you pay.
Players don't come around.
Yeah, you pay whatever it takes as well, type of thing. The fact that he's going into his last year, it's come out that he's not signing a new deal, so that means already PSG are not at a high. They're not at. They don't have leverage. That takes away the leverage from them. They don't have him on a Felix contract the way he's at Atletico Madrid. So it's like, yeah, you definitely go in for Mbappe. You go all out for him. You at least throw your hat in the ring because it's a year. I think he's personally going Real Madrid. But if United don't go in for him, I'm gonna be pissed. Even if we don't get him, you have to go in. You have to go in for him. Like, I'm sure, Lewis, you would take him as well. Mbappe. If he becomes available, you have to go in for him, surely.
Again, price tag. But
yeah, but that's my point is...
At the very least, Mbappe has shown it at the highest stage.
And he's got a year left and he's not signing a new deal, so they have to sell him at a cut price rather than losing for free.
Yeah.
He's only got a year left.
Say swear.
Yeah, okay.
I did not know that, you know.
Wait, Yancy, wait, let this sink in.
Did not. Man's on a 1-year deal and they're all struggling for money with TV deals. Hey, I didn't know this, you know.
This is where the whole agenda came from the show, because I was saying, why would you get Kane over Mbappe? Like,
I might need to rethink my whole thought process for the summer now, because
fucking Mbappe, we was nearly gonna join us at the age of 13, but we didn't sign him. So we might have to finish this off. You can come back to Cobham when it's all ready.
Lewis looking like he found gold at the end of the rainbow there.
Yeah,
you know
bro. If we're gonna spend 153 million on fucking Haaland, go for Mbappe, bruv.
Hey, Mbappe over Haaland all day long. I've been telling people this. Well, if he's coming to England, he's coming one place, and it's not to either YouTube. You know what I'm saying? But we
wish he goes Old Trafford, bruv.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I'm saying
he can decline on the Ole just like everybody else.
You know what? Even Ollie tax, Mbappe is good enough to not, you get me? He's good enough to not get affected by that. As good as he is, I'd be hoping in it. I'm praying we're just in the race.
See that when you face low blocks and you're just passing around the midfield. Mbappe ain't gonna change that. You need like prime Eden Hazard for that shit.
Nah, Mbappe is the guy in it. Mbappe is the guy.
Perfect for Pep, man. He can play
well. No, he's not. You know what I'm saying? And you don't want to play that tippy-tappy football. He wants stuff to get me on the front foot. Well, that's not really us, to be honest. But, you know, that's Ollie tax. You know what I'm saying? I can't even chat. I've got nothing. I've got nothing. You know what I'm saying? I ain't even got... Normally, I'm the guy for this. I got nothing. You know what I'm saying? See how Ollie's just done me in and that. You know what I'm saying? I've got no legs to stand on and that.
They're going to give him a new contract. It's hilarious.
No, is what it is. Moving on. JB says, we're actually going to touch on that Mbappe thing, actually. Aguero has 54 goals against the other top 5 clubs.
Nearly 20 are against us as well. Absolute dickhead.
Like, most are against United, you know.
I swear he scored more against us.
He's always scores against us, though. Pull up the numbers, Yancy.
He's had like 2 hat-tricks against us.
Pull up the numbers, please. Yeah.
I know in terms of the teams that, you know, he scored most against in the league, most teams, he's the top scorer against them in the Prem.
Yeah, against us, I think he's the highest. 17 goals against us.
Is it?
He always scores against us. He's double figures against us.
Absolute dickhead.
I think it's 9 or 10 against United. He scored 1 minute. Oh my gosh, this is going through.
Oh, these ring lights really fuck eyes.
So Lord, we're going to
turn it off, fam. Don't worry about it, man. Wear some shades.
Oh, you're right. You know, it's Chelsea. It's 15 against Chelsea.
Oh, only 15. Okay, that's slightly relieving. Man, literally was what Drogba was to Arsenal. Can't be asked.
Yeah, he always scored in derbies as well. Go on, Yancy.
Then it's 3rd is Tottenham with 12.
Yeah.
4th is Arsenal. 5th is Watford. 6th is West Ham with 10. 7th is Aston Villa with 10 as well. 8 is Man United with 9. 9 is Burnley. Burnley's got 9 as well. Southampton has got 8. And then Espanyol. West Brom has got 8. Stoke 8. Liverpool 7. Barcelona 7. Sunderland 7.
Okay.
7, Swansea 6. So his most of his goals come against the top teams, and this is what I was trying to make my point. But people always are going to take it out of context and be like, I'm trying to say that Harry Kane's shit. I'm not.
You just saying he's nowhere near on Aguero's level.
Is he going to be an upgrade to Aguero? Like, I don't know. I don't think so.
That is a no. This is a good question from MB for you, Lewis. Lewis, on a scale of 1 to 100, how confident of you at Chelsea progressing to the final?
Depends who we get. If it's Liverpool, it goes up to about 75, 80. If it's Real Madrid, we're spot in the middle, 50, maybe 45. I am not underestimating Real Madrid in any shape or form. Even with the amount of injuries that have, the mentality is just different, and they've still got one of the best midfields in the world. Like, everyone's saying, they're aging and shit. Like, don't say it. It's famous last words. And plus, Eden Hazard could be back. It's the writing is on the fucking wall that Hazard will have his best memory in a Madrid shirt against us.
Yes.
I can see it already, and I don't want it.
I
want Real Madrid just because, please, I want Courtois to get packed in both legs, and I wouldn't want anything better, honestly. But Eden Hazard knocking us out and Thibaut Courtois celebrating with him, I might log off. I might log off for the rest of the season. I can't have it.
Yeah,
that dickhead getting the last laugh against us. No, I don't want it. Please, I'm hoping Liverpool turns it around. They only need a 2-0 win. But they're also Liverpool. They couldn't hit a barn door if they wanted to, so I don't know.
Yeah, and then 1,500 dickhead gooners will be back. You know what I'm saying, on the Blues Fans TV if Hazard comes in and scores the winner at the bridge.
Semi-final, second leg of the Champions League. A part they haven't seen since 2008, and they will still be here to take the piss. Just you watch.
Of course, because I'll be on that Blues Fans TV channel as well, watching the festivities and that.
You probably will. You hope the festivities.
Yeah, I think you get Madrid, but you know what? I'm in the opposite to you, and this is going to shock you what I'm saying. I think you beat Madrid over 2 legs. I've said this.
Really?
I've said this. I think you beat Madrid over 2 legs.
I think we can. Down. I definitely don't think we can't. It's just I'd rather face Liverpool because I'm a lot more confident with Liverpool.
I've said this. I've called it straight. I called the semi-final. Go back and watch the Q&As, people. Go watch From a Third Eye View on Pi Radio. I called the quarterfinals from the jump. I said PSG would knock out Bayern. I said Chelsea would knock out Porto. I said Real Madrid would knock out Liverpool. And I said City will knock out Dortmund. And in the semi-finals, PSG will do City and Chelsea will do Real Madrid. And remember, I said this. I'm saying I've called these 4 games absolutely spot on. Go on.
I actually thought Real Madrid would go out already.
Yeah, I know you. Yeah, I know you did. You were just trying to jinx Ryan, and you were just being a prick.
Again, very underestimated.
Nah, not underestimated. I just think with the players you have and the manager you have, when you're defensively solid like that, you have a great chance.
Oh, you always have a chance based on our defense.
And that's it.
Take our chances.
And you have a good midfield.
Great
it might not be up to their level, but it's good midfield. Yeah,
I'm hoping we have more. I'm hoping we have more chances against Real Madrid because we've looked a bit more clinical against Palace, but that is just only the Palace game. I need to see how we play against City, against Brighton. Who do you have against Brighton? West Ham and Fulham. I need to see we play in these sorts of games, the way we address those. We do our job in the Premier League. We finish 3rd now. We can overtake West Ham and Leicester City just by beating them if we win the rest of our games. So we just have to do our job. So I'm not worried about the Premier League. The Champions League, though. Real Madrid, man. We've never faced them in years. Not since 1997.
What's the last time? Raz, in 97. It's been that long.
That's
mad.
It.
That's crazy.
European competition. It's even more jarring that I can't get to watch it live too because I've wanted to do Real Madrid away for years. I've done Atletico away. I've done Barca away. Real Madrid was the only one left, but here we are. If we had fans, we probably would stand a better chance in the home game as well because Courtois wouldn't have a minute's piece. I've been waiting years for him to have that long walk down to the Matthew Harding end by himself. I have to stand there and deal with 45 minutes of abuse and then potentially get nutmegged. But it ain't happening now. I hope to God we don't get Madrid because I can't have him have the last laugh. I'm repeating myself. I hate this prick too much.
All right, let's go into it. Why do you hate Courtois so much?
It's obvious, man. The guy twerked for Real Madrid since day one of joining the club. Yeah. Then he went AWOL after the World Cup to force a move. Half our fault, but same way he showed no loyalty anyway. Eden Hazard chose to wait a year. They both wanted to leave for Real Madrid after the World Cup. Hazard stayed and waited a year, made sure the club was in a decent place, and then left. Courtois just went AWOL and skipped training and fucked us all off. He twerked for Real Madrid since day one. Barely said anything positive about us, barely interacted with the fans while he was at Chelsea. just an all-round snobby dickhead, to be honest, and then tried to hide it off by celebrating a few goals with the fans when we won the league. Like, it was just PR moves to death.
Man.
The only thing I'll say from the club's point of view, we kind of did it to ourselves by loaning him out to Madrid at a young age for 3 years. If you let him build a life there, get married, have kids and everything, of course he's going to want to go back. Same way, there's a way you go about it, and he handled it like an absolute dickhead from start to finish. And also, same way, I can't speak about family too much because I don't know how feasible it is to go back and forth from Spain to England like that. But same way, he moved like a dickhead for 3 years, so fuck him.
Fair enough. I didn't know that. Kimbo here says, flawless, so ignorant. Haaland crushes almost every centre forward that United have ever had already. All right, okay. I was with you until you got to the last part and you said already. But you know what? Like I've always said on Haaland, I'm just not ready to crown this kid king yet. You lot are trying to hype up Mbappe and Haaland as the next Ronaldo and Messi. I'm just waiting to see, innit? Like I said, it's his first quarterfinal. It's his first quarterfinal, second leg tonight. I'm like, you lot just wait. I know social media were very reactionary, but I just reserve judgment on these players. I'm not saying he's not good. I said against Dortmund, he impressed me. I mean, against City in the first leg. He's better on the ball than I thought he was. And he was good. He set up the goal and he was bright. Was he exceptional? No. I was expecting to see him walk on water the way you lot were talking about him. But he was good. What I'm saying, I'm just reserving judgment. Let's see how he does next year, the year after that. Let's see when he gets his move. I hope he comes to the Premier League. As a fan of football, I hope we get to watch him week in, week out. Whether it's at Chelsea, whether it's at City, whether it's at United, etc. As a fan of football. What are you laughing at, Yancy?
I don't want to see him at City.
Do you know what? I hope that you're proven right tonight and he doesn't turn up personally, because I think he could be the reason that we go out tonight. So
you ain't going out.
I'm a big fan of Haaland, man.
Yeah, no, you've been hyping this guy up for the lot before I even knew about him. You were telling me about Haaland. You was
I don't blame him. He fits Man City.
Yeah, it makes sense.
They will give him enough chances that he will just need to put him into the back of the net.
Yeah,
and that's my thing with Haaland. Like, for a 153 million striker, he isn't going to single-handedly drag you through games. But if you give him the ball in the right position, he'll put the ball in the back of the net. He's a clinical finisher. Man City do that. We don't really make enough chances like that, which is why I don't think he fits us. Because we're going to rely on Haaland, and we shouldn't be relying on Haaland. Really and truly, Haaland relies on Royce and Sancho. So he needs creative players around him to get the best out of him. You don't really have that. Man City have that in essence. They have so many players that can do that. So if he goes to City, like, we're all pissed. We're all pissed.
Yeah. Ryan here says, I hear what you're saying. That makes perfect sense what you're saying.
No.
If we beat Madrid and go through, I'm coming on the watch along right at the end and singing every single Liverpool chant possible. That includes the Salah song. This guy, EG.
I'll join with you for the Salah song because I want you in the semis too.
No, we don't. We don't.
Non-stop. How much space is there in the Bundesliga, bruv? Werner got 34 goals in the season.
It's like everybody plays a high line.
Alcacer scored a goal nearly every game. Batshuayi got a goal a game in the Bundesliga, and he was there for 6 months. The amount of space you get there is ridiculous. That's the difference. Premier League, you are not getting that time and space on the ball. And he's going to have to adapt and get used to that. We haven't seen him do well in low blocks. I've seen him play for Norway in the international break, and he didn't carry them through anything. Yeah, they couldn't find him because there wasn't enough creative players. Proves my point.
Yeah,
you need creative players around him to get the best out of him. Same for Dortmund, same for Manchester City.
Yeah, makes sense. Ayo, flawless, no footballer at his age has ever had Haaland number of goals. But yeah, goals don't impress me. Like Lukaku's outscored. I think he's just matched Brazilian Ronaldo for Inter Milan. What does it mean? I'm saying I think he's still one of the highest goal scorers in the Premier League. Goals impress a lot of you lot. That just doesn't impress. I want more from my striker.
For me, the eye test as well. Yeah?
Yes. Say again, Yancy?
On the eye test, he's very, very good as well. That's what I think of Haaland. Do you know what I mean? Because even though he didn't score against City, he was a problem. Do you know what I mean? We need that sort of player. Like Aguero. Like Aguero is a problem.
Yeah, but you guys aren't a low block team.
Whether he scores or not, he's a problem, innit? So
yeah, but you guys aren't a low block team. You went and you gave them a match. So there's going to be space for him to work with. When he's in the Premier League and you're facing your Burnleys, your West Broms, your Sheffield United, 10 teams are just going to sit deep and drop low block. That's going to be the real test. People saying Norway are awful. Yes, man is a 153 million pound striker. He should still be having impact, in my opinion, if we're going to be spending that money on him. I don't care if it's Norway. I don't care if it's Germany.
Yeah. You're right.
If he ain't performing, if he's disappearing in these sorts of games, clearly there's question marks.
Yes. See, but when Lewis says that, you lot don't get onto him. But when I say I'm just reserving judgment, I'm not even saying he's bad. It's all why you're not on the Haaland hype train, man. You're telling me he's more a finisher than he is a creator. He's not going to create things for himself. That's what I'm gauging for what you're saying.
He's going to do it in space.
Yeah.
He's not going to do it in tight situations. Not yet. Haaland is going to the top. No one's here trying to take any smoke off him. He's going to the top. But people acting like he's going to win the Ballon d'Or this year. Like, relax, guys. Come on, man.
Serious. That's all I was saying. Like, it's just his first quarterfinal in the Champions League. I'm like, let's just see how he does. And if he doesn't play well tonight and he goes out, I'm not going to butcher him. I'm be like, yo, all right, let's see how he does next year, the year after that.
Like, even if he came to Chelsea 3 years' time or something like that, I could see him as one of the best centre forwards, if not the best centre forward in the world. Because that's the same thing that happened to Didier Drogba. He was the same sort of striker at Marseille, running in behind. He utilised the amount of space that he had on the field in the French league. Came to the Premier League and Jose told him to change his game, play more selfless. Half the reason why he didn't score as many goals as he did for us, because he was playing more as a centre forward than he was as an actual striker. But he was so damn good at it. It's why people still talk about him as one of the best strikers in the league to this day. That's why I see Haaland becoming, if he came to Chelsea. But for 153 million, people aren't going to let him wait 3 years to develop. They're going to say, you ain't spent 150 million on potential. He's got to win you the league right now. And he's also 20 years old. He's had an upward trajectory his entire career. Not one setback. What happens when he goes to the Premier League for 153 million, one of the most expensive player in Premier League history, and he doesn't hit the ground running? English media are on his arse. Every rival fan is on his arse. I know he's got good mentality and everything. His mentality also hasn't been seriously tested yet. That will be a serious test. For 153 million, I need the finished product. I don't need potential.
No, I hear that. That's spot on. You know what I'm saying? Taekwon here is saying Mbappe has stated he wants to be playing on the left, so it'll be understandable if United doesn't go for him. Yo, you shift out whoever's playing on the left. Who we got playing on the left, yo? We got Prime Ronaldinho or something. Whoever's on the left has got to go in it. You know what I'm saying? You figured it out. Yo, bye. Yeah, and I rate them both. But if Mbappe says I want the left, bye. You gotta go in it. Like, not out the team, but just elsewhere. Like, if Kylian Mbappe says I'm coming to your club and I want to play at right back, then you say, you know what, we'll make this work somehow in it. Let's have a conversation. You know what I'm saying? This is, you don't understand how good this guy is. Like I said, not only does he pass the eye test and does he pass the stat test, he's impacting big matches. That's why I'm such a fan of him. You know what I'm saying? He's not only eye test, the stat test passes, just watching him. He's impacting big games even before when he was at Monaco. Monaco got to what? The semi-final. He's having a major impact on games. And France won a World Cup. He was the main man. It wasn't Griezmann. It wasn't Giroud. It wasn't Pogba. It was him. Yes, there was other players a part of that. Remember, this was Atletico Madrid Griezmann. This isn't Barcelona Griezmann either. He's the main man. And now even with PSG, yes, they lost the final, but they've got to a final due to him. He outshone Neymar. And even this season, they went to the Allianz Arena and he's putting in a man of the match performance. They went to the new camp. He's putting a man of the match performance. He's impacting, and he's 22. It's not like he's 20. And we're here talking about Harry Kane not impacting big games at 28. So what's Mbappe?
Man City's next signing.
All right, relaxing it. Okay, all right, chill out.
If
she just trying to piss me off, innit? I learn me. She's just trying to, because
bad with stealing players, though.
Yeah, she's just trying to piss me off, innit? Because she knows I do a full 180 if he goes to City, and I will do a full 180.
I know he's not turned up. So what? He won the World Cup.
He's just a road runner. Harry grew to a World Cup.
That's it. Yeah. Oh, I love that, Lewis. I'm a hit. Oh, that's brilliant. That's what I'm gonna. Yeah, just a road runner.
Wherever Mbappe joins or Haaland.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. I'll switch, but yeah, that's my whole point. But that's how I judge football. If you're a big game player, I mean, if you're a quality player, world class, having great highlight reels, tricks and flicks is all well and good. What did you do in the big games? Like, I love Van Nistelrooy at Manchester United, one of the best strikers I've seen at Manchester United in terms of sheer finishing. But his team won't go down in history because we didn't win nothing. I think we won maybe a League Cup and one league, and he left and we won everything. That's my whole point. Is like, what do you do in the big games, in the big moments? And there was many big games where Van Nistelrooy didn't show up, and that's not all down to him. He just wasn't suited because he went to Real Madrid and scored loads of goals. I think he won in the Liga there as well. But it's all preference. Like I'm saying, Mbappe at 22 is almost clock football. If he wins the Euros and the Champions League, he's won everything. I haven't seen anybody do this. I think probably in our generation, is there another player at 22 that has done this? I'm trying to think. At 22, who's won big trophies and impacted big games. He's the main man. As good as Neymar is, I look at PSG as that's Neymar. I mean, that's Mbappe's team.
Let me check.
I think if you're talking about in terms of impact in big games and stuff, what Messi was doing at 22 was unreal. But the World Cup is the thing that he has over Messi.
Messi at 22 though.
If the World Cup was
Messi at 22 was better than Mbappe.
I'm not saying he wasn't better, but I'm saying
he was the best player ever at that
What
age.
year was that? What year was that?
Mad. Well, he's
like we talking.
30.
So we talking like
at 22 was like.
What was the year? Was that like 06?
No, I think it was later than that. He was 22 and wait, how old is he? He's 30. I have no idea. 33, is he now? So he would have been 22 in 11 years ago. 1 minute, let me check.
Yeah, figure that out because I just want to know if it was Ronaldinho's team.
2010, 2009, 10 that season.
2009 and 10.
So he won the Champions League.
Yeah, so you can throw Messi in that category.
Was it that year?
And that's why we hail up Messi in the fashion which we do because he's impacting big games.
Yeah.
He's leading this. As much as I get onto him, is banter. He's impacting big games for Barcelona. He's helping them win trophies. He's scoring winning goals in finals and semi-finals, etc., etc. Yeah, Cristiano, this is my bracket. Yes, Ronaldo's in that same type of bracket as well. I didn't know. And again, the reason why I asked what year it was, because that Messi side of 09, that's Messi's side, that Barcelona team.
Yeah.
Like, it's not Ronaldinho's team.
Yeah, I can throw a shout for Mason Mount.
Maybe
the Euros as well. I can throw a shout.
Is that Mason Mount's team? Yeah, is that his team?
Could be winning player of the season. Should be winning player of the season. To be honest,
he should for Chelsea.
I don't think anyone else really has a good shout other than him. Yeah, maybe Mendy or Mount, one or the other.
Right. What about Andreas Christensen, fam?
Bro, I'd love that, but that's on a run of form. If I throw Christensen in, I can throw Rudiger in. I could throw Jorginho, Kovacic, so many other players again. But if we're talking about the whole season, has to be Mendy or Mason Mount.
I hear that. hit the nail on the head. He says Neymar is the best player, but Kylian is the killer of the team. He's the one that really decides games, and that's my point. It's all well and good. Eye test, stat test. What's your productivity saying? I said this about Neymar. That's one of my biggest criticisms of him. But at the away leg against Bayern, he was exceptional. He was exceptional that day, even despite his assists. He was exceptional. He was a threat. Even yesterday, even though he should have scored, he's a threat. They're two of the best games I've seen from him in big games. You're impacting big matches. Everybody looks good on an eye test. Get a highlight reel of Adama Traore. From Wolves. Looks absolutely amazing. But then you go and look at his numbers and he hadn't had a goal or an assist in a whole calendar year. My point. We got over 70 people watching across all platforms. You lot hit the like button. Let's get these likes up. Make sure you share it across all your socials and subscribe to the channel, Sarcasm City TV. We're literally like 8 away from 2.5K, so we should hit there. Make sure you subscribe to Carefree Lewis G. His link is in the title. Make sure you subscribe to Yancy ENT also. Make sure you do that.
In the comments if I'm good. No, I'm not.
Why are you not good? She's just nervous as hell in that. She's hella stressed. She ain't used to it, that's why. Why are you not used to it? You've been in Champions League like 5-6 years in a row now.
After Haaland test is the Mbappe test.
Constantly since that season that bloody Peter Crouch scored the goal, we've not been out of the Champions League since.
Yeah, so why you hell? I understand why. I say no more. I get it. I understand.
No, it's just this thing. Like, if it's a normal competition, like, I'm not worried, innit? Because I know City are the better team, but it's just fine margins, innit? If they score the first goal, we haven't come back from being 1-0 down since 2019. So the odds are stacked against us if we concede first. if we score first, I think we'll do it. We should do it.
Yeah, you lot going. I keep telling you this. If I genuinely thought you lot were going out, then I would say that you lot are going through. And then after watching Dortmund, they were just very passive. You lot are going through. Even if you don't win the tie on the night, you're definitely going through. Like,
but that's
without
the thing. People keep talking about how, you know, if they can actually beat us tonight as long as it's 3-2 or, you know, 4-3 or 5-4 or something like that. They can beat us. It's just we have to get 2 away goals. We just need 2 away goals.
Yeah, and you'll score.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you won't. You definitely will. I don't see Dortmund keeping a clean sheet. Like I said, you lot are going through and that.
Yeah, I don't see that either.
Flawless, have City bottled it if they lose 1-0? No. I don't think they have bottled it. I think that's another agenda I need to run with, is this whole bottling term. Because as soon as a team loses, they bottled it. Like, no. Sometimes you just have an off day.
But saying that, they say that every time we go out. There's not been many times when Man City have actually gone out by goals. It's like last night, like PSG lost, drew, and won at the same time. It's one of them things. Like, that's been Man City. How many times have we lost, drawn, like at the same time, or won, lost, and drawn at the same time? It happens quite a lot with Man City. Like Spurs, we beat Spurs, we drew with Spurs, and we lost to Spurs. So that happened to us, you know. So I don't know. Like, I don't think Dortmund, not Dortmund. I don't think that Bayern Munich bottled it last night, because they actually won.
Yeah,
and they had their chances, if we're being honest. I know PSG should have scored at least one, but they had their chances. And I think if Leroy Sané was on better form, that game could have gone differently. Do you know what I mean? So it's just one of them. I think people always like to say you bottled it. Like, we bottled it when we went out 6-6 twice. Do you know what I mean? So it's like...
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm fully aware, Harry, if City lose 1-0 that they go out. But what I'm saying is, if they lose 1-0 and just have an off night, I can't say they bottled it. And they bottling it to the guy you lot are saying can walk on water, innit? You can feed 1,000 with one loaf of bread. Haaland. So how are they bottling it? If this kid's as good as you lot say he is, I'm saying, and I'm just reserving judgment on him. Like I said, I was actually impressed with him when I watched the first leg. I won't be watching the second leg. I'd rather see Liverpool go out. That'll bring me great joy. But because then their season's pretty much over.
What happens if Liverpool go 3-0?
Why do you keep bringing this negative energy over here, innit? First is, what if Mbappe comes to City? What if Poch comes to City? What if Liverpool? Why? I thought we were friends. Okay, you smiling now, innit?
We'd be even better friends if Mbappe played for Man City.
No, we wouldn't, innit? You know what I'm saying? I'm blocking you for a couple of weeks, and I don't need that smoke. And hollering at Lewis and getting all my Mbappe slander in it from him, and that we're gonna write this together and put this together. I'm gonna let him ghostwrite some of the bars for me in it, because we don't need Mbappe in a blue shirt. My G,
I'll spin it around on Giroud prop. It's calm.
yeah, it's calm. Sorry, Yan City. What did you say?
No, I was just gonna say, like, I actually think that if Mbappe came to Man City, he reduces his chances of getting the Ballon d'Or. Like, I actually think that City tax.
Yep.
Yeah,
I know what you're on about.
Even though I want Mbappe, I don't think it's the right decision for him. He would win everything, of course, but I feel like he would never be seen as the best. Whereas if he joined like a Liverpool, he will be the best. You know, he would win the Ballon d'Or. You know, yeah, maybe even Man United. Yeah.
Yes. And we got some day. Harry, chill out. All right, so we got the age wrong. It happens, man. It's really not that deep, but you lot get the likes up anyway. Get the likes up on the video, whether you're watching this live or you're watching this back. Make sure also Sarcasm City TV membership. If you want to be a member, the link is underneath the video, so you get the chance to buy Sarcasm City merch, guest appearance on a show of your choice, one of the weekly shows. So you might want to come on Agenda FC, or you might be a Liverpool fan and want to go on Gildem City, or you might be an Arsenal fan and want to go on Man United. Or you might be a Chelsea fan and want to go on Gonna Talk from the Arsenal podcast. So yeah, that's what it is. Also, shout out to the start of certain shows, etc., etc. We don't need this. This is the last thing we need. Imagine Mbappe in the AC penitentiary. We don't need this. Look at Lewis smiling at the fort.
Do you know what? Do you know everyone in the comments saying Sané's not all right winger and whatever? Like, Sané has the quality. Like, honestly, when he's on form, he has the quality to do it from anywhere. Like, I actually have a lot of faith in him. I think last night he was a little bit unlucky, you know, in terms of he made some of the wrong decisions and stuff like that, but there was a lot of pressure on him at that point. So yeah, I think he is good enough, regardless of where he's supposed to play or whatever. And yeah, to people saying we have no fans, like, come on now, seriously, like, go check the history.
Oh my God.
That's such a dead thing to say. Do you know what I mean? It's like, oh my God.
What's a dead thing to say?
We have no fans. It's like you even get like this whole thing, like we fill Wembley every season because we go there pretty much every season and we fill it every year. But then people are saying, "Oh, they're not going to get 2,000 fans."
Was it my bad?
Can I be real? Like every time I've done away at every top 6 ground, but Man City is the only one where there's constant back and forth. Like Arsenal, dead guys just chat shit all the time. They don't. It's not even really back and forth because you can't take them serious. Spurs. There's some, but it's like never too much. Plus, we're always winning half the time. United, little bit, but it's like only if you're on the right hand side. If you're on the side facing like the, I forgot what the wider end's called. Is that the West End for you guys or what? The side opposite is the Alex Ferguson one. But you know what I mean anyway.
Yeah.
Man City's the only one. Like the away fans on the side to you on the right hand side. Yeah, mouthy as dickheads. But you know what? They add so much to the game as well. I look forward to being tier 1 on Man City away because I know it's 90 minutes of just back and forths and chatting shit. And even at the end of it, it's all jokes. Except the 6-0. The 6-0 was just way too much. Like we couldn't even say shit at the end of it. We had to join in with them.
Yeah, it's a massive.
That was one of my favorite games ever. That sorry, you had to be on the other side, but
I don't blame you, innit? Like, no one really slaps 6 on Chelsea like that. We're known for being a strong defensive team, so it's a big shock and everything, but fucking hell.
It's not even that. It was just my birthday, and I was like, I need Aguero to score, and then he went and scored,
Scored a hat-trick.
Yeah, and the year before, on my birthday, he scored 4 again.
We have to turn around on their fucking birthday. Aguero's favourite team. Can't be arsed.
Like Moses, like people in the comments that always go like City's empty. Like clearly you've never been to a football game, and if you have, you've never been to Man City. Like, do you know the amount of games that I've been to? Like, I take like one picture every time I go to the game. I post it on Instagram, like whatever. And
humble brag, I like that. But go on, carry on.
No, you always get these people that say like, "Oh, City was empty," and they show this picture before at halftime when half the crowd's gone. Yeah, I'll post the same picture with the stadium full, and they'll be trying to argue that my picture's photoshopped. So I came back from on the way home. I'm photoshopping the game. Like, come on.
Definitely did. I know your Photoshop skills are on point. I know. You know what I mean? I've done it for you. She's lying, people. I've done it for her. Because we friends, I'll do that for her. She's like, can you Photoshop some fans in here for me? I'm like, all right, I got you. Because we're people's like that. You know what I'm saying? And that you'll post it.
You always get these like Liverpool fans and stuff that say it. Like, go and Google how many season ticket holders each club have and how many fans they get.
Shots fired. Boom, boom, boom. But Jan City, final thoughts on the Harry Kane goals missing against the top opposition. What are your final thoughts on it? Anything you want to add to? Just to round off the show.
Like, it's just one of them, and like he might do it. He's probably going to do it this year, but be nice for him to turn up in a final 28. Is what it is.
And the reason why Jan City is so like she's so on edge, it's not even Dortmund because they're gonna get past Dortmund. She don't want to see. She don't want to see Killer Killian, and I understand. I get it, innit? I'm with you. If I was you, I'd be because I'm not scared. But I'd be scared if I was you. I get it, innit?
Do you know what?
As my manager, I'd understand.
It's the quarterfinals. Yeah, if we were playing Stockport County tonight, I'd be nervous. It's not about who we got to face if we, because the way I see it is if you want to win the Champions League, you have to beat the best.
Yep.
So do I want to play PSG?
No.
Not really, but if we're going to win it, we have to play them. That's
we'd rather play.
We knew this season, if we were going to win it, we'd have to beat PSG because I thought PSG would be in the final. Yeah. So I actually thought we would have to beat them. So, now it's got to be probably either Chelsea or Real Madrid in the final. So we got to beat them too. So that's if we get there. So it's not going to be easy, but to be the best, you have to beat the best. So
that's nice from Moses.
I'm not too fussed about that.
We love you, City. You are cool. We're just pulling your legs.
It's just a dead joke, isn't it? It's just not like, especially talking about the club that have historically had the most fans ever in a stadium. Like, it's not the thing to bash City with,
But we move. It's been great having you on Jan City on Agenda FC. I'm sure you are going to be on here more because you always pull out these unpopular opinions out of nowhere. Yo, my G Lewis, anything you want to add before we bounce?
Harry Kane's a bit of a bottle job, but it's only because he's at team bottle job right now. Once he moves teams, he'll stat pad. It's just when he gets the balls to finally move. But Spurs haven't taught him to have balls, so someone needs to give him the helping hand.
I think that's the best way to end the Agenda FC. I hope you lot have enjoyed the show. Make sure you subscribe.
Can I just say something?
Go on, there we go.
Can I just say, if City lose tonight, you won't see me in it.
Look at how she's shook to death and that. I'm out here with my chest and that when United lose. Listen, my team is in the friggin' Europa League and I'm talking the most in it about teams in the competition above. You better come on. Even if you go out today, you're still on for a domestic treble. You know what my team's on for? The friggin' Europa League. The second tier European competition and second place.
I was actually saying that on Saeed's channel yesterday. Go check it out if you haven't already. He had Big Steve on, innit? And all these United fans in the comments like bantering me. I'm thinking, how are you bantering City? Like,
yeah, you know why?
What tonight? How are you bantering Man City? It's just madness. But
you know what it is? It's because this is all we have left. I have nothing left but banter. What am I supposed to do? I'm saying I can't back this manager. I don't back. I can back the players in that, but that's why PSG have became my what's it called? They're my Champions League team. I had to have a horse in the race. So yeah, when they knock out you lot, I love him even more in that. Man, like he's magic. You even have to finish it. But yeah, make sure you don't ever screw up your face like that at me again. But yeah, make sure you subscribe to Carefree Lewis G. Like I said, his channel is in the title. Subscribe to that. Road to 25K for him. Make sure you subscribe to Yan City ENT. And speaking of Saeed as well, I'll be on there, Real Talk, at 6 p.m. So head over there right now. I'll be there at 6 p.m. Make sure when you drop a comment that you said Sarcasm City sent you, please, people. Make sure you do that. And we will be back. Agenda FC, there's no European football, so we'll be back Wednesday at 6 p.m. We just pushed it earlier because obviously European midweek. But yeah, this has been Agenda. Wait, merely 1 second. Have we touched it? Hold up. Yeah, man, merely 25K and that. You know what I'm saying? And that Lewis out here on big numbers. That's what it is. Easily out here on big numbers.
How far are we off, guys? Smash that subscribe button, guys. Come on.
Yeah, I'm just looking at it and we're 7 off. Yeah, 2.5K. So hopefully we should hit that tonight because we're back tonight as well, people, before I go. The watch along, Liverpool versus Real Madrid. I'll be on there. JV will be on as well. Lewis said he's jumping on. You never know who else will jump on. And then late night, you're getting the midweek Sarcasm City Sports Q&A with myself, Yan City, Ryan, and I'm sure Lewis will make an appearance as well. So you're going to see us all again, basically, on multiple occasions. But love to everyone who's locked in.
Can I just say, Tin Pot clubs don't play in the Champions League, innit? That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, that's debatable still. Arsenal have been in there in the past, but we move. But yeah, this has been the Agenda FC. This has been Agenda FC on Sarcasm City TV. Thank you very much for tuning in.